Just wait until everybody gets on, I guess. Whatever. All right. Have fun.
Bye. Love you. Hey, Pat. Hey, Jenna. What's happening? I have a family birthday party, so I won't be able to be here. Have fun tonight, and I'll watch the rerun. Have a great weekend, and stay safe. Love to all. Bye, Pat. Have fun. Okay, here goes my phone. It's going to make all kinds of friggin' noise. Who the hell am I? Who the hell am I? Hey, Ann. What's happening? Hey, Angela. What's up? What's up? Hey, Tammy, what's up? How's everybody? Hey, Breezy, good morning, good morning. You're up at the crack of dawn. Hey, Shannon, what's up? Hey, Candy, what's happening? We're gonna miss Pat tonight. Hopefully Ken will be here. Kim may or may not be here. Hi, Victoria. Miss you and everyone else. A lot going on in our household lately. Oh, I'm sorry, Shannon. I'm sorry, honey. Hey, Susan. What's happening? I hope y'all got good news this week. It's been a long week, y'all. Hubby is having surgery Monday morning. So, and then I'm having another one of my leg surgeries, like, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? No, it's longer than that. September. Oh shit, it's September. Yeah. I'm having it in September, sorry. For some reason I was thinking it was August. I was having it in August, but I'm having it in September. I have to go see my cardiac specialist in a couple weeks. Always something, y'all. Hey, Spring Notes, what's happening? Thank you, Candy. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hubby will be fine. It's just it's been a long road for him. So he's got to have surgery because he has scar tissue from one of the surgeries that he had. You know, he went through kidney cancer. And he has scar tissue, and it's hampering his ability to urinate. True story. So he's got to have surgery on that. So it may be outpatient. He may be spending the night. It's just going to depend on how the surgery goes. So yeah. So I have, like, you guys, literally. I have so many pages of stuff to talk about tonight. Like, today is the, 21st? Is it the 21st? No, 22nd anniversary of my mama's passing. So this is always like a shitty day for me. I mean, look, I know where my mom is, you know. I know she's in a great place. But it's just always a shitty day for some reason. The anniversary of my mom's and my dad's death is just, you know, so hard to believe they've been gone so many years. Like, it just blows my mind. So, yeah. Prayers for both your surgeries. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, honey. Let's start off on some easy stuff. Oh, let's do some easy stuff. First of all, did you guys hear the great news about the Dollar Tree? So the Dollar Tree, because they're owned by the same people that own Dollar General, and so they have been noticing that Dollar General's sales have been better, whereas Dollar Tree's sales have gone down. So they're taking 300 to 500 products, a lot of it food, and bumping the price back down to $1. Yay! So that's awesome. Sending angel hugs. Thank you. How old were you when your mom passed? How old was I when my mom passed? You guys, that means I have to do math? Really? I have to do math. Hold on. I'm so brain dead, y'all. I don't do well with math. Plus, I don't ever talk about my age on here, but I don't give a shit if people know how old I am. Ooh, I was 34 years old when Mom died. Yeah. That sucks, right? Not to minimize, but that's a small procedure. Just saying, don't fret too much at all. He'll do great on oncology. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. He said, like, the urologist said the only thing he's worried about is, you know, you can have, like, bleeding issues. Yeah. So, because they're scraping off the scar tissue or whatever. So, yeah. So, it's minimal. He's been through another surgery similar to this before. So, yeah, it's no big deal. But thank you, Jenna. You're right, though. Hey, Latuan. What's happening, Mama? Hey, after all, what's up? What's up? I gotta count on my fingers, so don't worry about it. Right? I'm like, math is my worst. I was an English major, so math, no bueno. That's so young. I'm so sorry. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Daddy died. Let's see. Daddy died in 95. So I was young then too. My brother was 16 when Daddy died. So, yeah. So in case you guys didn't know, my sister's 7 years older than me, and I'm 10 years older than my little brother. So we're like really spaced apart. Yeah. When can we expect new content? Well, you should have been able to expect it. Yes. Oh, I don't know, yesterday or today. I was able to connect with Tylee Ryan and Tammy Daybell. So that video is coming. And then, more importantly, the reason it's, you know, I haven't posted anything is because I've been working on this other case. It's crazy, y'all. And y'all know I don't wear a tinfoil hat. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But this is definitely a conspiracy theory type of case. Y'all. So I've been working on that, and quite frankly, that might take me a while. It's a tough one, and they're all tough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, all these cases are just, yeah. But this one is extremely, it involves an entire family being wiped out in one fell swoop. And sadly, not the majority, but a lot of people think it was a murder offing. You know, they un-offed themselves. Yeah, so, okay. I was 25 when both my parents died 18 years ago. Crazy, it's been that long. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. God, it's the worst. I couldn't even imagine losing them both at one time. Like, that's the worst. I'm 45 and I still need my mom every day with working full-time with my boys. I get it. Like, it took me a lot of years to stop my mind from thinking I needed to pick up the phone and call Mom and check on her. Or if something good happened, I wanted to pick up the phone and call her. You know, it took me a long time, a lot of years to get through that. I penny shopped at Dollar General. I used to watch those videos all the time. But you know what? Let me tell you a story. The Dollar General that's closest to me, okay, there's like 5 that are within 10 miles, right? But the one that's closest to me, it's like filthy all the frickin' time. And when I have gone in there for like clearance shopping or penny shopping, nothing, right? So I go in there one time and I get like 5 things. that were supposed to be a penny. And I get to the register, and the lady rings them up, and she's like, "Oh, I can't sell these to you." And I said, "Really? Why?" And she's like, "Because they're marked a penny." And I was like, "Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't sell them to you." So I don't even go back to that store. Like, I just gave up on Dollar General because I was like, screw it. I'm not going to the other ones because they could potentially be the same damn way. So I just gave up. Yeah. Oh, let me see. 8 viewers forgot to like, "Hey, I am. Hi, honey. Hi. Thank you. Thank you." We have a store called Red Dot here in Australia. It's like the Dollar Tree. So good. Oh, cool. Now I want to go to Australia so I can go there. Hey, Lisa, what's happening? What's up? What's up? Is that other thing you're doing a case? Yes. Yes. What's going on with the lady that was murdered just a few days ago? She was running on a trail. They're looking for a man, but I feel a female did it. I'm no psychic, but I get that feeling. So she lived probably 25 miles from here. I didn't even, quite honestly, didn't know anything about the case until a friend of hers emailed me. I think I got the email yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I could be off by a day. It could have been the day before. You know, she was like, "I know you're in the DMV area. I was just wondering if you're picking anything up on this." And, you know, I hadn't even heard of the case. So, I don't know why, but immediately when I was reading the email, I was seeing a guy, and I kept feeling that he knew her. That's all I was getting. I was getting a guy, and then I felt like he knew her. I could be totally wrong, because I wasn't trying to like delve into it too deep. Because generally, let's back up. Let me tell y'all. So if somebody contacts me about a case, you know, I generally try to put it on the back burner and then come back to it. You know what I mean? Because usually when I'm checking my emails, I'm just kind of quickly scanning through my emails. You know, I've got a million other things going on. So I try to set time aside where I actually respond to said emails. And so with that particular email, I wrote back to her, but I haven't like tried to connect with the victim or anything. But I had another lady contact me recently about a case. And I actually picked up the phone and called her because I was getting flooded with so many facts and so much, you know, information like right off the bat that I was like, okay, time out. Okay, I got to deal with this. So I wrote to her and I was like, "Can I have your phone number? Is it all right if I call you?" She was an amazing woman. She was friends with the victim that I'm talking about. And she basically just said, you know, is she dead? What's going on? You know, and which I was seeing that she was gone and seeing like a lot of details. Okay. I was getting like flooded with tons of details, which sometimes that happens. But in most cases, if I'm just looking through emails, I'll get a couple of things about something, but I just kind of put it on the back burner until I have time to dedicate more to it so I can get a more thorough like read on what I'm seeing. In this particular case, I was coming up with so much stuff. She was like, "Oh my God, that makes sense. That's this is related, this and this guy and this person." And it all kind of came together and made sense. Which I may do a video on that eventually. I don't know. Yeah. But in this situation, I'm sorry you guys. My mind's all over the place tonight. In this situation that you're asking me about, I saw a man and I felt like it was somebody that knew her. Like I said, I could be totally off. Let me tell you what happened the other day. Here's why I say I could be totally off. That's why I have to like dedicate time to sit down and see what I get and be more thorough, you know, and give it more of my time and attention rather than just kind of breezing through it. I don't like doing that shit. The other day, I was working on a case and I was getting stuff right away. Ultimately, thankfully, I put aside time to dedicate to that case. And thankfully, what I was getting was not connected to that case. And I was being told that right up front from Spirit. But I could have very easily, had I not have taken the time and attention on that case, I could have effed up, and it could have been about this other case. It ended up being about another case. And it's tough when you have people calling you, people emailing you, people messaging you, and you have all these different cases, whether it be like, working for the police department or doing something for YouTube or whatever. Like it's so easy to get everything intermingled. So I've had to kind of slow down, which I don't like to do. I like to go. So, yeah. So, yeah, Angela, sorry. I know that took me like 75 freaking minutes to answer your question. It's so upsetting that Psycho Lori said Tammy is her friend after clearly wishing her dead and said her kids are happy and busy in heaven. So, after all, it's funny that you say that. When I connected with Tammy and with Tylee, I played for them Lori's little speech. Okay? And I asked them questions. They told me things right off the bat, and then I asked them like specific questions. Hopefully I'll get that up this weekend so y'all can see that, but Lori's delusional. We all know that. It's pathetic. It's so damn pathetic. Haha, me too. Only I had read that. I was like, wow, a neighbor. Victoria, what do you think happens to organisms like Psycho Lori after they die? Well, I would say, it depends on their current situation when they die. You know what I mean? Like, most people like her end up in hell. They do. They end up in hell. I would never want anyone to go to hell, right? I've seen how disgusting the people react and speak when they're in hell. I see the trepidation and the fear and the anger and the hate. Like, I've seen it. I've witnessed it, y'all. So, I don't know. I'm a Christian, but it's very hard. It's very hard for me to say that I hope Lori straightens up and goes to heaven. But I do. I hate to say that. I want to be so angry at her. And I don't want to have anything positive to say towards her. But I don't want her to rot in hell. I kind of do, but yeah. All right, so thanks, I am. Party. I hate dirty stores. I've even told management and very clean stores, restaurants, how impressed I am. I do the same thing, Jenna. Oh my God, I do the same damn thing. I'll say, your store is so nice. It's like, oh, I'm very impressed. Because there are so many shitty ass stores around here. Hey, Darlene, what's happening, mama? Go to Australia to shop at their dollar store. That's a true bargain. Lover. I would love to go to Australia to shop at the damn dollar store. Hey, Mark. What are you doing, man? Hey, honey. One testosterone check. You dumb shit. Hey, Kim, you made it. Did you get my message? Looking forward to the video. Good, Candy, good. Yeah, can I just say, which probably no shocker here, okay? I'm so impressed. Like, every time I connect with Tylee, I just am so much, I don't know. I'm just so much in awe of her. She's so just grown up and mature. She has such an old soul. You know, and she's just so legit. Like her and Tammy Daybell. Tammy was just, they're just both phenomenal. Like, they're definitely better people than me, okay? Because you hear how I'm talking about Lori now, like not wanting her to go to heaven, you know, but it's just like, I'm human. It's the angry side of me for what she's done. But I genuinely, it's like I have the devil and the angel, you know, like, I hope she goes to hell. No, you don't say that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so yeah. Serious Lisa, hey honey, what's up? I think it's up to Jesus and God to forgive. I really don't think Lori should pay in the afterlife. I agree. You're right. You're right. You're right. And my husband, Mr. V, would tell me, it's not very nice to say that, Victoria. Shannon, let's get the Paxtons to Perth. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes, I did. Thanks. Oh, good, Kim. Good. Let's go to Perth. Hubby would love that. He would love that. He lived in Australia. He loved it. All right, I need a drink, y'all. It's hot as hell in here. Okay. So, can you guys listen? I just started listening to this artist. And he's in concert in Virginia tonight. I'm so pissed. So mad. Jelly Roll. Have you guys heard of him? I don't like all of his music. He's too country for me, but I do like a couple of his songs. Like, they're really good songs. Did I start early? Hey, Ken! I don't think I did. Did I? Maybe by a couple minutes. Not just by 5 minutes, maybe. If that. My best friend's husband is a Dollar Tree manager. I love going to his store. He has the girls run the register and he stocks shelves. It's so nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, a lot of our Dollar Trees here are just dirty and gross. I don't even go to the ones that are like that. It's just selfishness to kill your own children and someone to go along with it and help. That's pretty sick. Very true. Very, very true. Victoria, how's your husband doing? Hope he's not too much pain. He's good. He's on here. No, he's doing really good. He took the steroids for his back and he went to physical therapy. His back's feeling much better. He has to have surgery Monday just so that he can urinate again because he had, kidney cancer and he has scar tissue from it, from another procedure because of it. So yeah, I'm not digging Jelly Roll, although I think he's a nice guy. Yeah, I'm not it's so weird because I'm not a country music fan, you know what I mean? But it's just some of his music, I don't know. And hubby was like, oh, do you want to go to the concert? We can go. And I was like, no, I don't know enough about his music. You know what I mean? To spend $69 per ticket to go. You know what I mean? Like if I were like a huge fan, that'd be different. But you know what I mean? Okay, let me get through some of this piddly crap. Did you guys hear what's going on with the John Benet Ramsey case? Did you? Did you hear what's going on? Holy crap, it's so hot in here all of a sudden. What the hell? Ugh. It's like 400 degrees in the damn room. Whew. Why is that not working? There we go. Okay, it's going to be loud, y'all. Sorry, but it's just so hot in here. Yeah, it was like $59 or $69 a ticket because they had sold out of like the 300s and the lawn seats. So the only seats were like decent, I guess. Yeah. Jelly Roll collabs with Elle King a lot. Love her, but can't take her country stuff. Oh, I don't even know who she is. Huh. Okay, so you guys, I have to refer to my Redskins notebook, people. Commanders are playing tonight, y'all. Go Skins. Okay. And if I'm offending the Native Americans, which I don't think I am, sorry, but they'll always be the Redskins. My dad was a Redskins fan. I grew up a Redskins fan. Sorry. Okay, so listen to this shit, you guys. Gary Oliva is currently in prison for PETA case, okay? So he called, so the night, okay, John Benet Ramsey was killed that night. Her body was found several hours later. That night, he called a high school friend of his, Michael Vale, at midnight. And he said he was in Boulder and that he heard a girl, right? So the next morning, Michael Vale wakes up and sees in the newspaper about John Benet Ramsey in Boulder, Colorado. And he's like, oh my God, Gary did this. So he calls the Boulder police, right? And they put him through to a hotline. And he says, I know what happened to John Benet Ramsey. Give me a call. I know who did this. Did they call him? Hell no. So he's thinking any day they're going to arrest this Gary dude. He even said on the message who it was. It doesn't happen. So 3 months later, he calls the police again and leaves another message. Okay? So the Boulder police had this information since day one about this guy, right? He claims that he accidentally hit her head, that he had her in his arms and he accidentally slammed her head into something and that he watched her die. That's what he said, which makes no sense because he strangled her with a garrote. So, okay, so let me tell you. He kept calling his friend, who really wasn't his friend. They knew each other from high school, but they hadn't kept in touch or anything. And he kept telling him how much he loved John Benet. Okay, so they interviewed John Ramsey, and he said that he knew all about Gary Oliva from the beginning, and that their private detectives were confident that this Gary guy was the killer, right? But the Boulder police were like, no, the Ramseys did it, so we don't care about this guy. So, listen to this. He had a history, this Gary guy, had a history of breaking into homes and stealing art equipment. John Benet was strangled with one of Patsy Ramsey's paintbrushes that was laying there with her art supplies in the room that he killed her in and left her in. So Michael Vale made a list, okay, and told all the things that he thought pointed to this Gary guy. The phone call that he received where he said he heard a girl and watched her die. He had the motive and the means, okay, when John Benet died, he was on the run because he had abused a little girl in Oregon. So he was on the run from that. In high school, he had a fascination with knots. Well, they said the garrote that was around her little neck, it was a specialty kind of knot that was tied that not a lot of people know how to do. This Gary guy had attempted to strangle his mother with a telephone cord. He was in the proximity. Okay, so 13 houses down, there's an alley by the Ramsey's old house, and 13 houses down from that is a church. And he had been staying at this church, and he was receiving his mail there. So he was 13 houses down, right? He had an obsession with John Benet Ramsey. He had been drawing her pictures for years, drawing pictures of her for years. When the Gary guy was arrested for breaking into a college, they found tons of pictures of John Benet and poems that he had written and dedicated to her. The police never asked for the friend Michael Vale for his phone records to prove that this Gary guy had called him that night, right? The touch DNA had been compromised, so that doesn't say either way who it could have been. Okay, listen, this is interesting. He had slept at the campus in Boulder. There's a college campus in Boulder. That college campus, Boulder campus, that year had a breakthrough about SBTC. He signed, the ransom note was signed SBTC. SBTC stands for Single Ban Trumpeated Crystal, which is what the Boulder campus was known for. Oh my God, you guys, they took his handwriting and compared it to the ransom note, and it was like freaking identical. Like, you guys. Hello. Okay. Let me get caught up, you guys. Mr. B, best wishes. Thanks for having the will to fight against all the horrible things life throws at you. You are awesome. Keep fighting, keep winning. Aww. Yes, some guy is claiming that he has letters from his friend who murdered her. Yeah, big time. Is it real? I believe it's him, you guys. I mean, immediately. Like, you know when the hair stands on the back of your neck? When they showed him, like a, what do you call it? When you get arrested and you get your picture taken, the hair on the back of my neck just stood up, you guys. Is every perv called Karen? Right? Right? I believe the guy lived in the neighborhood. Yeah. It's creepy, you guys. There's so much to this guy. Her head was smashed in. It was not hit off something. I know, right? When he's like, oh, I accidentally. Come on, dude. I was wondering if the Gary guy was the killer. Yeah, I saw handwriting experts confirm ransom note matched Gary. Yeah. Claims. FBI profiler claims it is not his handwriting. The thing I saw, they overlaid his handwriting with the ransom note, and they looked alike. They did. They said that it looks like he's writing bigger now, and he's trying to like change the way he writes, which, duh, you know, because he knows that note, you know. I don't believe it was him. I do. I believe it's him. I could be wrong, but ooh, he's creepy. Victoria thought I'm more confident now that it's him and he will finally face justice. He is a bad dude, but he is being set up like the Germany guy from Alan McCann. I don't know. I think it's him. Like, here's the other thing. I kept getting concerning the case that the guy knew Mr. Ramsey. And I saw something somewhere, and I went back to try to find it so that I could talk about it tonight, and I couldn't freaking find it. But supposedly he knew Mr. Ramsey. So, I don't know, y'all. There's so many bad people out there and so much shit going down lately. Well, this is from years ago, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's talk about Rex Heuermann. So, his wife filed for divorce, right? Then tell me why she's calling him. Like, what do you have to say to him? You supposedly know, you know nothing about the fact that he's a serial killer, right? So what on earth would you have to say to him once he's put in prison? Because let me tell you something. If that were my husband, I would file for divorce and I would be like, I don't want anything to do with your dumb ass ever again. You know what I mean? Like, and so many people have come forward and been like, yeah, it totally doesn't surprise me that they arrested him. He's a creep. He's this, he's that. He's had ex-coworkers, neighbors, you know, people that have known their kids, that they're all like, doesn't surprise me one bit. You know what I mean? So, okay, let's just say for a second that his wife really didn't know. I really have a hard time believing that, you guys. From a psychic perspective, I have a hard time believing that. It would be easier if I put the psychic stuff aside and I just was looking at it from the outside as a wife and a mother myself, okay? But from a psychic perspective, I really am struggling with her answers. I feel bad for her. I guess her son's special needs, and she's always been a stay-at-home mom. And I'm sure she's broke now. Her husband doesn't have an income. You know, she doesn't have an income. But, you know, how did you not know? I just don't. I just feel like. I feel like she knew. And listen, I don't think she participated in it, okay? I don't think like that, from that perspective. I feel like she kind of suspected something was up, you know what I mean? And she just didn't want to see it type of deal. And maybe that's all it was. Maybe it's innocent enough. But it's just so hard to... I don't know, y'all. Here's the other thing. Do you know she hasn't been interviewed by the police at all? What? What do you mean you haven't been... How have the detectives not questioned her? You know? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I mean, yeah, I feel sorry for her in that she no longer has an income and she has to figure out how to support her 20-some-year-old and her 30-some-year-old kids. I know the one has special needs, but the daughter's supposedly fine. She needs to go get a job. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to be a bitch, but, well, yeah, I kind of am being a bitch, but you know what I mean. Here's the other thing, you guys. Holy shit. Have you been watching this Thomas Randolph case? He's known as the widower. Married 6 times and 4 of his wives died under suspicious circumstances. He was 2017. He was given the death penalty. He was convicted and given the death penalty in the death of his 6th wife, right? That was overturned in 2021. So his new hearing just started the other day in Vegas. So he said, pulls up in the driveway, his wife's in the passenger seat, she gets out, goes inside, he goes inside, he sees his wife on the floor, dead. And then all of a sudden, he goes and grabs a gun, he sees a guy coming towards him and he shoots him and kills him. Well, as it turns out, the guy that he shot and killed was the guy that he hired to kill his wife, okay? So, they're redoing the trial now. Yeah. You know, he did it, hello. He doesn't need to change his right of its ransom note and the letter. Both are old. True. But you know what I mean? I think that's why he's changing his writing. You know what I mean? He knew that John Ramsey was getting $118,000. Yeah. I would never call. Right? Why is she calling him? What could she have to say that's so damn important? You know what I mean? Like, very strange family, yes. Do you think Rex's wife's in on this? I don't. I think at best, she kind of suspected he was up to something. She just didn't know what, you know? His wife had to know, right? From a wife's perspective, I would know, right? Right. She was out of town at the time, so he was picking up women. And, you know, but still. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. I agree, there's no way she didn't pick up on some kind of a sign. Yeah, they found her hair in a victim. Yeah, they found her hair in the, what do you call it? Fatigue colored camo, the camo colored wraps. Her hair was on, like, I thought 2 different ones from 2 different women's bodies. Like, it's good to know. I heard she's from Iceland. People over there may be too innocent and just looked away to keep peace for her kids. And maybe I'm totally wrong, and maybe that's true. When all these other people are coming forward, you know what I mean? Because Ken had said last week, remember Ken, when you said that most people come forward and say, oh, I would have never suspected that person. They were the nicest guy I've ever met, you know? All these people, neighbors came forward and said, oh yeah, he's creepy as hell. Like, yeah, you totally see that he could have done, you know? It's just, I don't know. I'm sure she had some kind of intuition. Right. Her hair. Yeah. Yeah, she does need to go get a job. They did. How do they know it's her hair? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, if they didn't do her DNA, how the fuck do they know? I don't know. Good question. Good question. Oh my god, that guy gives me the creeps. She's so creepy. Yeah. I'm not sure again, but I remember the cop saying that. Yeah, I don't know. Victoria, do you think at some point humans would live among aliens? We already are. We're already living amongst aliens. Why wouldn't, you know what I mean? I trust your intuition, Victoria. Thank you. All right, let's talk about aliens. Let's talk about aliens, y'all. Yeah, so you guys know I've talked about it. I totally believe in aliens. I was contacted when I was on a psychic website doing readings. I was contacted by one, and it was pretty wild, the things that they told me. The proof that they had, like, and I don't like to talk about this guy or this being or this thing, whatever you want to call him, very much, because they what do you call ESP? They do like the whole ESP thing with communication. So if you think about them or talk about them, they're supposedly aware. There. He is able to, he can completely look like, what is going on with my forehead? Like my forehead, something's bulging out of my forehead. I'm like, what the hell? They are, yeah, telepathic, yeah. They are able to completely change their appearance. This guy, thing, being, whatever you want to call him, goes to a regular day job, just like you and me, you know. Goes to a regular job. You know, he said there's a bunch of them that live amongst us, and that in 20 years, roughly 20 years, they were going to come out. It would be known to everybody that they were in fact around. As you all know, the government's been releasing information that aliens are real and that they have proof. Oh, see, did you see that? I just sucked up my hair. What the hell? Holy crap, that scared me. Sucked up my hair. Shit. Yeah. So he told me a little bit about where he's from, their language, how they communicate. Like, they're so... Listen, the shit that he was telling me was so far above my head that I was like, what? Completely went over my head. Like, I didn't even understand. I'm not a technical person. That's my husband. Mr. V is a technical person. I'm not. And this may be hard for some of you to believe, and that's fine. I know I sound like a total idiot even talking about it, but I've mentioned it before, and I finally just said, you know what, I'm just going to talk about it. So he called me in, he paid and called me in, right? So the way it worked, I was known on this website. Mr. V posted what it's called, but I try to steer clear of them now. I don't want anything to do with them because there's so many like bullshit fakes on there that I don't like it. But so it was on this website, and I would be sitting here like talking to a group of people, like kind of like I'm talking to you, and then all of a sudden my picture would disappear and it would just say my name, and I would be called into a private room, which means somebody had paid for private time with me. On that website, I was known for two things: to be one, efficient, right on, and the other thing, I was quick. So people would come on and say, look, I only have $20, or look, I only have $10, so I have such a short, limited time. And I'm like, no problem, let's go. And I would get it done quick. You know what I mean? And people started, catching on and hearing that. So I had a lot of clients, and I was pretty busy whenever I would go online. So the first night, I get pulled into a room, and usually somebody would pull me into the room and they would say, just give me a reading, or they would say, like, I want to know A, B, and C. And this particular time, it was some guy telling me, like, all this stuff about himself. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, I kept saying, like, I kept intervening saying, like, we should get done with the reading, let's get on with the reading. Because I was known to be quick. Like, I didn't like to waste people's time and money. You know what I mean? I wasn't on there to make a shit ton of money. So first time, that's what he does. And then he's like, he cut me off quick and was gone. And I was like, what the hell? It was bizarre, right? So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I had this horrible feeling, and I was like, why am I feeling like this? Like, and trust me, I had done a reading for 2 other people on that site, and I had gotten a horrible feeling from them. And I knew that there was something negative to them, you know what I mean? This thing kind of scared me, and I was like, what the hell, right? So I wasn't on there for a couple of days. I said, screw this, I'm not going back on, Then I finally said, oh, okay, I went back on, pulls me into a room right away. And it was so bizarre because every time I would get on, his name would pop up immediately, right? And I was like, how in the heck does he know every single time I get on? It was just so bizarre, you know what I mean? I had a list of everybody that was in the room, and every single time I would get on, within seconds, he was on there. And I was like, that is so bizarre, you know what I mean? So he once again pulls me in right away, and he says, are you getting anything from me? I said, oh, okay. So, because I'm thinking he's just gonna, talk some more about himself. And I was like, okay. So I started seeing very bizarre things that I couldn't explain. And I'm like, shit. So I said to the guy, I said, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to get out of here and refund your money because the shit that I'm seeing, it doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't want to take your money. So I quickly snapped out of there, right? Go back into the main room. I'm talking to everybody. We're chatting. We're laughing. And I notice he's still on there. And I'm like, well, that's weird, And it must have been probably an hour later, he once again pulls me into a room. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. So he said, are you getting anything different? And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, look, I don't know. The shit that I'm seeing makes no sense to me. I said, I'm seeing because at the time I was literally seeing almost like a dashboard of a car, but it was like all these buttons and gadgets and shit. I kept seeing that, and then it's like I would look up and out, and I would just see like space, and I was like, why am I seeing this shit, right? And I was seeing like weird looking little men and like a table with just like different like tools or something on it. And so he's like, well, can you tell me what you're seeing? And so I start telling him, and he says, when I'm describing what I thought was like, I don't know, it was like a dashboard looking thing, and then I could see out a window and see, it looked like space, like the sky, like you're just in the sky. I wasn't seeing planets or anything like that. So I'm explaining it to him, and he's like, well, what does the dashboard look like? So I start literally explaining, like, because there were things like in lines, in vertical lines, right? So I'm explaining like the buttons and the gadgets, and I'm telling him like I'm seeing these weird symbols on this one, and then there's like a circular type thing that's half. It was bizarre. Okay, okay. So pretend like this is a circle, okay? Pretend like this little thing's a circle, and this is the dashboard, right? So instead of seeing I was seeing stuff like this, right? So it was like a circle half down but sticking up, it was just like there was no rhyme or reason to what I was seeing and what I was explaining to him. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the... And he was giving me these words, and I'm like, okay. And so he's like, tell me more, tell me more. And this is going on and on and on, right? And I said to him, sir, we've been on here for like a half an hour. I don't like to waste people's time. And he's like, oh, I'm paying you, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. So then he was asking me to describe like the weird looking men I was seeing. I was seeing like bizarre clothes, and I was seeing like the table with like different tool looking things on it. And I was seeing a big circular, it was bizarre, this big circular area, right? And I was seeing like these men in there, these weird shaped little men in there. And it was the most bizarre thing, because there were like 10, 15 of these little things in there. And they were walking around, but there was no noise, no sounds. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean? If you get 10 people in a room and they're walking around, you're going to hear people breathing, you're going to hear people shuffling their feet. You know what I mean? Like, and this was like a circular room, okay? And like one part of the room had these weird tools on the table. And then the other part, the kicker was the dashboard thing's like back there in the back, okay? And then there's a glass where you can just see it. It just looks like you're like the sky. Like if I look up at the sky right now, that's what it looked like. My hair's going in it again. It was bizarre. There was no sound. And so anyway, so he's like, okay, tell me more. So I describe every freaking little thing that I was getting. And he was like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, I have to go. And boom, like that, he was gone. And I was like, oh, what the hell was that? So, I don't usually talk to my husband. When I do readings for people, I don't talk to my husband about it, right? It's nobody else's business but me and the person I'm doing the reading for. With this guy, I can't explain it, but I said to my husband, I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, so the next night I go back on, and comes in, pulls me in a room. And then he said, immediately, he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you now. I was like, okay. So he goes on to tell me how he came here, when he came here, that he's been here for all these years, that he owns a home, he works a regular job, people don't know who he really is, he's not here to hurt anybody, all of his little people, I think he called them something, and for the life of me, I can't remember what in the hell he called them, but there was like a word for it, because when he first said the word, I didn't know what he was talking about, and then he went on to explain that that's like, I don't know, his people, and he said, in 20 years, in roughly 20 years, it's going to come out that we're legit, we're real, and we're going to show ourselves, and it's going to become like more readily accessible, and people are going to start researching more and realize that there really is life on other planets. Yeah. And, he came back to me quite a few times. He would tell me like a little bit more here and there. He said, it depends on, like, they have different levels, I guess, and it depends on what level you're at, decides like how many different looks you can, change from one to the other to blend in, and he's like the highest up. He's one of the ones in charge or something, and I don't know. I know that it sounds absolutely insane, because trust me, I was that person when people would say, oh, I was abducted by aliens. I was like, yeah, cuckoo, cuckoo. Somebody go put them in a loony bin now. They need to be locked up. So I know it sounds insane. When this guy came to me, you know, and it scares me to talk about him. It doesn't scare me. That's not the right word. I guess when I talk about him, it kind of freaks me out that he's going to like pop up in my life. You know what I mean? Because he has the capability to do that. That's why I've kind of shied away from talking about him in the past. I won't say his name. I won't say what their people are called. I'm not putting any of that out there. But it was very real. He gave me so many specifics, so many specific details, which a lot of those we're not gonna talk about here. You know, because I do have fear still. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't know what he's capable of. You know. But yeah, I know it sounds absolutely insane, but I'm here to tell you guys, you know, the things that I was seeing, like every time he was around. So anytime he came into my room, and it was always, the reason I knew he was there so quickly was because I would start seeing shit, and I would look at my screen and be like, how in the hell did he get here so quick? Nobody else would be in my room. And I would literally pop, just come on, and bam, he was in there. Every time, you know. It was just, and the things that I was seeing, like, that was another reason why I knew he was legit, because of the fact that I was seeing that crazy shit. Yeah. It sounds hokey. It sounds like bullshit. Take it as you will, but I'm here to tell you that it was very real. He told me a lot of very specific things. But yeah, it was, and here was the other thing. That's what I was going to say before. The table with the tools on it that I kept seeing. So I was like telling him, describing the tools to him. And he was calling each thing that I was describing by a name. Like he was, but it wasn't like, I already sound crazy, what the hell. It wasn't like, he wasn't speaking English. It was more of like sounds or noises and sounds put together, like, it sounds hokey. I get it. If y'all don't believe me, I get it. And I'm okay with it. But I'm here to tell you, it was real. And if this is true, if in fact, you know, the timing is about right, the government's just recently come out. So within the next year, 2 years, maybe it's more like 3 years. Anyway, at some point in the next couple of years, it should be all coming out and coming to fruition. If in fact he was right about that. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to say that's what he told me. But I'm here to tell you guys the shit that I saw, like, and the things that I heard, yeah, I don't know, you guys. It's weird. I believe you, Victoria. That's why I respect you. Oh, thank you. Wish Tom was here too. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Kim. I'm sure he's up there listening. He's probably like, that girl's a psycho. It's hard to know what's believable these days and what's disinformation. Yep. It was meant to be 100%. I think the first time he was testing you. I think you're right, Ken. He was definitely testing me. I even said to him, I remember saying to him, I think it was the second time I spoke to him, I said, oh, have you spoken to a bunch of readers here on the website? And he was like, no, not at all. You're the only one. And I was like, okay. In fact, I even like, at one point, I even searched his like username to see if he had gone to a bunch of different psychics, and it only showed mine. So, I don't know. Persistent fellow. Yes, I am. I have an identical story. Wow. Wait, did I miss something I was talking about? Wow. You should have told hubby immediately. Victoria, can these aliens procreate with humans? I don't know that. I don't know. I only know what he told me. Why did he say they were here? I believe, like, he said different things at different times. I believe, at one point he said they were here just to intermingle with us and to see how we live and to learn from us. I don't know. There's only, I think he said there's like 600 of them here, and that they've all been here like the same amount of time. Yeah, I don't know about procreating and all that. I don't know. Works a regular job. Yeah, he just looks like a regular dude. But when I saw, he was able to look like a regular dude. But when I saw him, he didn't look like a regular dude. He did look a lot. People say what aliens look like. He did look, when he was in his alien form or whatever, he did have like weird shaped eyes, and he did have a big head. But he didn't look like what people say aliens look like, per se. Excuse me. I did notice his skin tone. It wasn't like a, we have every color of skin tone, right? But his skin tone was more, I don't even know how to explain it, like between a dark gray and a black almost, was like what when he looked like an alien. It was like a weird color. Like, it's not like what you picture, what they say an alien looks like. I mean, he did look similar, but not like how they say an alien looks. You know what I mean? He didn't have, the one thing was, he didn't have like fingers. It was like a nub or something. Like, he had like nub hands or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I know I sound like a total idiot. So 20 years starting when? I think he was saying then. So that would make sense that it's, like I said, it'll be the next couple of years here. If it's true. I mean, I have no doubt he's real, you guys. I know he's real. I know what I saw. It's just scary, though. You know what I mean? To think about if it comes out that they've been living amongst us this whole time. Like, that was the toughest thing for me, was when he was telling me, that, oh, we've been living amongst you. Because at that point, they had been here for several years already. And then he said it was going to be like another 20 years before it all came out. Y'all. You're not crazy. I hope not. I'm worried humans would misuse alien technology. Yes. And when the UFO was done observing the event below them in the best fireworks ever, the UFO left lightning fast. Wow. I told you guys one time about when I saw the UFO, me and the guy in the Volkswagen. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, and I didn't want to think the guy's name, that he told me, because I was like, I don't want that thing landing on me. It was kind of freaky, y'all. No, it wasn't 2010. I was thinking about it the other day, honey. No, it was like 2007, I think, or 6. Yeah. I know it's true. I remember all the details that you told us before. Okay, I'm at a loss of words. You don't sound crazy. Clicky sounds. Kind of. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like noises. I don't know how to explain it. It was bizarre. Like, I couldn't recreate it if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a weird sound that even if I wanted to recreate it, it ain't happening. Bad with time, Vic knows better when. Victoria, I love this info. Thanks for sharing, Victoria. No judgment here. Thank you. Victoria, all of your story sounds real. These are different aliens. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just said, screw it. I'm going to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to say the guy's name. You don't need to come see me wherever the hell you are. Did he say if they form friendships and such with humans or observations only? No, they definitely. That's one thing I know for sure. He was saying that, like, he's friends with his coworkers. He has, what did he call her? He didn't call her a wife. It was a weird word. It was an English word. It was an English word. Concubine. He said he had a concubine, and I was like, what? And he was like, a woman. And I was like, oh, okay. They have work relationships, and apparently, yeah. This is interesting. I've met some mentally ill persons who are extremely convincing, but I hope that this story is true, even though it's scary. It's fascinating. It was the most bizarre thing, you guys. Look, it's taken me years to talk about it, okay? It's not anything, it's nothing that I would ever think of telling, people that I know in my real life. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like I would be so harshly judged, which I know my true friends, I know who they are. And I know they wouldn't judge me. I just worry about, like, people that I'm acquaintances with, you know what I mean? It's just, I just don't want to go there. Yeah. I don't think that is scary if they've been here for years and it proves that they're harmless. Yeah, they're not here to hurt anybody, according to what he said. Like, it's not that they're here to harm anybody. Because I said to him, this is, the more I talked to him and got comfortable, I was like, this is some hokey shit. Like, people are saying, like, they were abducted by aliens and probed, and he was like, yeah, I don't participate in any of that. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So, now, you met him in the physical, person to person, sitting across from him. No. He was on a computer screen with me. But I was able to see everything, like, no. I saw the UFO that I saw in person, but no, not this thing. Guy, whatever he is, I don't know what the hell to call him. Like radio static. No. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't even know if I've ever heard anything like it before. Oh my God, that sounds so freaking... I know I sound like a total idiot, you guys. I get it. Thank you, Victoria. Aw, thank you, honey. I wouldn't doubt you ever. You were 100% with my cousin's immediate future and what was going on. Thank you. A woman concubine. Yeah. I was like, when he said concubine, I had never heard that word before. That I remembered. You know what I mean? I was like, what? Huh? What? I'm open-minded regarding the possibility of visitors, but not always interested. Depends on the info. Yeah, I'm not one that, I don't go out of my way to watch people's YouTube channels about aliens or anything like that. Like, but I do, it definitely changed my outlook on things, because I was like, holy shit, this stuff is real. Like, I was like, wow, my mind is blown, Prior to that, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I was like, oh my God, this person's a Looney Tune, when they're like, oh, I was abducted by aliens. I was like, oh, cuckoo, they're crazy. So, yeah. Why do you think he was reaching out to you and giving you this information? I don't know. To this day, I have no earthly idea why he picked me. And like I said, I even checked his account, because I was like, is this guy going to all the psychics on here and saying stupid shit? Because if he is, I want to talk to them, He hadn't been on anybody's forum except mine. I don't know. And here was the weird thing. I had been on there for a long time before he first showed himself, right? But when I looked at his account to see if he had been on a bunch of different psychics pages, he had been on this forum since the same day I joined. That was bizarre to me because I was like, what? It was just weird. It was just bizarre. Yeah, maybe he was telling you so that one day you will tell us. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, Mr. V has been like, you should just tell everybody. You should just do a video on it. And I've been like, nah, I don't think so. You know, so, yeah. I miss the old days. Yeah. I believe in aliens. Maybe they even seeded humans on Earth. I don't put anything past them at this point, okay? If you guys had been able, if I were able to recreate the noises, I don't know, what do you call it, verbiage that he was saying? I don't know. I can't even like recreate it. It's hard to even explain or describe because I don't know anything that sounds like it. Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. Dear, please, if we're all dead tomorrow, the alien did it. Seriously. That's funny, girl. That's funny. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Absolutely. Now, if you would have asked me prior to this experience if I believed in Bigfoot, I would say, come on. You know, because think about it. No one's been able to get pictures. There's only a couple of pictures of Bigfoot out there. But it's the same with aliens. No one's able to get pictures of aliens, right? And I know that aliens are legit. I know. I've had an experience, you know, they're legit. So who the hell am I, you know, to say, no, Bigfoot's not real. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think he trusted Victoria. Victoria, you always do a great job in keeping information discreet and private for others. Aw, thanks, honey. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe he knew that I wasn't going to go tell the freaking world or, you know, go to a news TV station and say, hey, I spoke to an alien. You know, maybe that's what it was, you know, and maybe he wanted to come out and try it on somebody to see how I reacted. You know, that's kind of what I thought it was. Like, he was trying to see how I would react to what he had to say. I think that's what I was thinking was the reason why he was telling me what he was telling me. So yeah, I think he was, you know, and I have not talked about this, you know. This is not something that I've talked about to anybody. Like, I've kept it, mum's the word. I've told hubby a little bit, you know, after the fact, and when I got my bearings, I was like, I got to talk to somebody about this. And I was like, I'd rather be him than anybody, you know. And I started telling him little details, and it's crazy, y'all. Absolutely insane. There's an interview with Bigfoot on Channeling Eric. Yeah, I need to look into that. I keep meaning to do that. And I saw it. Oh, good. Didn't you ask the alien if Bigfoot exists? Squandered opportunity. Yeah. Damn the luck. Yeah. If you could have seen me, like, I was like, you know, I was having a hard time, like, talking, right? I'm trying, because he's telling me this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I need to remember every little specific detail of everything he says. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, I'm glad I was able to get on here today. Me too, Zlat, and I'm glad you're here, honey. Bigfoot is an alien. I believe that. Didn't you do a video on seeing Bigfoot? Similarity, I believe, a group of hikers. Yeah, there was a video. Yeah, there was, yeah. Who is that one guy? Damn, I wish I could remember his name. So, after all this happened, okay, probably a year or two after this happened, this guy had like a show, where he went and looked for Bigfoot. And when I watched that show, he talked about, I got hooked on the show because I was like, oh my God, like I have to watch this, right? Because he talked about specifically his thoughts and beliefs on where Bigfoot came from. And it was really interesting. I'm going to do some research and see if I can find it. Y'all need to watch it. I don't think the show did good or anything. It was canceled after like 6 episodes or something. But I was like, whoa, I was blown away. I was blown away. I'm guessing he wanted to check how humans were processing. Yeah. In the interview, the Bigfoot was asked about the photos that people have of Bigfoot. He said most are fake, but there are about 3 genuine photos. Wow. Holy crap. Ken, I'll have to watch that. I never believed in them until Susan Lynn's interview with one. They are from Earth. Wow. Y'all are making me laugh. Afton, it's you. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't realize Latin was you, girl. That's funny. You have a point, though, because every single person on Earth now carries the phone with a camera on it, so where are the photos? Yeah, I don't know. Are we able to take their... You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I'm like, are we able to take their pictures? You know? Victoria, do you think my family from the other side visit me? For sure. Of course they do. Without a doubt in my mind. Laugh. I cannot type in that. Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina has a video about channeling a Bigfoot. It's really good. Oh, wow. Okay. Holy crap. I didn't know either. You're funny. All right, you guys. It's about that time. We didn't get to talk about near-death experiences. That'll be on next week's. If you guys have any near-death experiences, let's talk about it. Because I have one that I'm going to share with you. And maybe we'll talk about... I'm going to tell you some stories about my mom next week. I should have done it today, but... So, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'm going to try to get the video up this weekend. If not, it's probably going to go up Tuesday or Wednesday because hubby has surgery Monday. And he edits my video, so it's going to depend on how he's feeling. Yeah. So I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope everything goes well and everything goes great. And that about does it for me. Now you guys can sit here, watch me try to figure out how to get off of all this shit on my screen that I can never figure out how to do.